legacy.
Imagine your legacy being is drawing you self-inserting, unintended, into Yo Gabba Gabba.
I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
Artist's career implodes after community notes expose their insane hypocrisy. I think I'm not gonna spoil anyone's fun of the reason why it even happened. I'm just gonna say it, you're all gonna love it.
So today we're looking at another Twitter user who effed around and found out, reaped what they have sown, whatever phrase you find best for this situation. We have an artist who literally imploded their career in real time all over the subject of fictional content. Now this quote is always relevant and I like to show it whenever I can. So it says this: people on this app will treat fictional characters as if they were real people and then talk about real people as if they were fictional and then get mad at you for knowing the difference. There's an absolute epidemic on places like Twitter where people have.
This is an ongoing debacle happening on Twitter on a monthly basis for the past few years, yes.
Have more respect for fictional characters than they do real human beings. They will treat those fictional characters with more delicacy, more care than they do for an actual human being. It's insane how far a lot of this has gone. Now, today, like I said, we're going to be focusing on an artist who has been for years going around harassing, bullying, canceling, and all other sorts of bad things directed towards other artists over the subject of fictional content.
No way. An artist doing that? Never.
And as you already can tell, they're making basically the same stuff they're judging other people for, and recently they bit off way more than they could chew. So who are we talking about today? Well, we featured this account multiple times before on this channel because this person is an infamous anti. Yes, a not safe for work artist who's also an anti who harasses and cancels people over fictional content. And in fact, this user in particular literally will call you a loser for making not safe for work content. Make it make sense. This is a very strange breed of artists out there.
Let me replay that part.
Literally will call you a loser for making not safe for work content.
While making not safe for work content. No. Hypocrisy? Nah, never. Never heard of it.
What? No, it's only for me, not for you.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. This is a very strange breed of artists out there who cancel others over fictional content. You would think, of all people, artists would have the most respect towards other people's artwork, and they'd be the last person to.
Absolutely not. The sheer amount of people I see on Twitter who are quote unquote artists, and the second they see someone else's art, they make it their mission to talk their art.
Yeah.
Just to make themselves feel better about the fact that no one wants to commission them.
Cancel someone over fictional content or to try to cancel or censor people. But no, it's actually very popular on Twitter. That's just the way the site is. So who are we talking about? Well, as you can see, their alternate account here is not doing great. They changed their name to discontinued account and it's private. And then the main account that they moved to recently, well, you can see it's not loading up because they have deactivated that account after taking a whooping on the timeline because they bit off more than they could chew. So before we get into the recent.
Speaking of whooping, I will just briefly mention what happened with one of the streamers who was trying to push the whole thing of Asmongold talking badly about South of Midnight. He actually streamed it, he played it, he reviewed it. He actually was pretty like neutral about the game. He didn't badmouth it, but he didn't also like the game, right? It's like pretty much how he was with Assassin's Creed Shadow. And of course, the usual crowd on Twitter picked it up and ran with it, right? That, oh, this loser, sexist, fascist, bigot, chud is talking badly about this game, is because she's a woman, is because of blah, 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 blah. And one of the streamers who was pushing this topic, he actually went into her statistics and even checked. She even played the game. Guess what? The people who are the loudest about protecting these games never freaking play the game. Anyway, back to this lunatic now. In a way, Twitter artists going on the hinge, crazy.
Let's get the history behind this individual, this noodle shop Ken's person, whatever name they go by at any given time. They were featured on this channel because of these posts. Sorry if they're a little bit blurry. These are just screenshots, obviously, because their account is deactivated, but this is from my old files. So you can see they quoted this artist making a artwork based on the Cheeton mascot that used to be really popular.
Wait, it says, I mean, this is in the nicest way possible. Can we not do this? Wait, what's wrong with the picture? Has the person ever seen Cheeton videos?
On Twitter, and they quoted that artist saying, I mean this in the nicest way possible. Can we not do this? And they got almost 200,000 likes before deleting this post due to backlash. And obviously this got the artist harassed here because God forbid they make fun artwork of this mascot. And you can see their further reply saying, not every single thing needs to be sexualized. If you make the it's the internet excuse, genuinely, you are a effing loser. Remember, this is the not
The only person who can say anything about this is the person who is actually playing Cheeton.
safe for work artist telling you that not everything needs to be sexual.
Oh yeah, I even forgot this part. This is a not safe for work artist telling not to draw Cheeton this way. My brain keeps blanking that out.
In these sorts of memes like this with the Cheeton mascot. But they also added this in response to criticism of that previous post, saying, unfortunately, a banger, lol. Say what you want about my art, but if y'all ain't got no problem with this kind of art being the result of a literal baby river otter, that's cool with me. Just don't bring up the art I make of adults.
What? Wait. All of this started because this person thinks that's a baby otter. And I quote, say what you want about my art, but if you ain't got no problem with this kind of art being the result of a literal, this person using the word literal, baby river otter, that's cool with me. Does this person know it's a mascot?
Bro, it's a mascot, bro. Like, this is one of those things where you say it's not that deep.
That would age very poorly, especially that last part, but also they're implying that the artist that we just looked at was making not safe for work arts of something that's not an adult, which is a pretty serious thing to say. Also, they're saying that making like a human underneath the mascot is too far, but if they, I guess, depicted it as an actual otter, it would have been fine. This is a furry artist too, by the way, so I don't really.
I'm like struggling to even follow the train of thought. Like Rev is trying really hard to explain it to us, like full speed the information, but my brain's like,
It's like we open our mouth, he spoon feeds us, it just dribbles out.
yes.
Really know what they're going for here, but you can see there's a lot of contempt for their own peers, and they also try to cancel that artist throughout this whole thing too. They try to claim that previous artist was a racist because of this Hestia art where they swapped out with a different Hestia character and basically took over the outfit with Hestia from the anime Danmachi. Absolutely nothing racist about that whatsoever.
So it says, this Hestia design effing rules. I love Fire Babushka. That's my Mima right there. So it just says Hestia looks kind of weird. There, I fixed it. Letting it be known that the Cheeton N-word was racist, and yet I was the one getting harassed. You just literally dropped the N-word!
Did you just drop a slur?
While accusing someone of dropping slurs.
Bro.
This is not real.
But they try to do this. They got on their high horse. And as you can see, yeah, they go willy-nilly with all sorts of accusations over drawings. And now we're going to transition here to the present. We're talking about Marvel Rivals.
Oh boy.
It has to be about Marvel Rivals making the booties bigger. It has to be about that, right? Okay, it's either about Marvel Rivals making the booties bigger, or the fact that the developer who made Penny in Marvel Rivals came out and said Penny is 18 years old.
Somehow got here, right? Everyone likes Marvel Rivals. It's a big hit. But unfortunately, it's suffering from success. It's gone very mainstream. It's getting a lot of attention. And when
Yeah.
these sorts of games get a lot of attention, it brings in a lot of annoying people, and people want to virtue signal about stuff going
I don't understand. What's the point of virtue signaling? Don't you just want to kick back, play games, and like relax and like just, not be a bitch for once? Or is because Emma Frost just in general? Just the existence of Emma Frost is pissing people off. No. I'm gonna go one further. Just the existence of a butt in a video game is like causing these people to have a meltdown.
on in the game. And one subject that people have been virtue signaling about is the
Penny.
character Penny Parker.
Okay, I was almost right away right, but I was right adjacent.
So people are going around trying to cancel people who are showing any sort of interest in this character. They're saying that you're a predator and you're a bad person, all this stuff.
I wonder would they go as far as like let's say Penny is your main, right? Like PDF file, check his files, check his files. He means Penny, check his files.
Yada, yada, yada. Nothing new here. This is Twitter. But of course, things have gotten so serious with this whole debate about Penny Parker that apparently the lead dev and creator of Luna Snow has now come out and confirmed that Penny Parker is not a minor in Marvel Rivals, because apparently they felt the need to do this because people were being so annoying about it. You can see they say Penny is 18, high schooler in this world. So, yeah.
I also saw someone said, put a screenshot of, but in the description it says teen. Read it out loud with me. 18. This is just so dumb. I've seen this meltdown already happening. Hold on. Let me. Okay, so I already did this. Oh boy, the Twitter fight's about to start with this one. And guess what? They did. They absolutely did. She still built like a child. Deadass thought she was 15, 16, but okay. I don't care what anyone says. This is very clearly a child. And if you actualize her, you're weird and creepy. The comments, yeah, pretty much. Huge for PDF files.
What?
I don't know. I just don't understand. We are somehow again at a point of body build of consent.
I guess we now know. We can all sleep easy now, knowing that this fictional character has an age set. Thank God. But of course, people on Twitter are melting down over that. You can see some of the replies on a similar
You still need to be on a list if you're attracted to her.
Post announcing this. These people saying, you still need to be out on a list if you're attracted to her. She is not 18. Even the devs can't gaslight me. Well, apparently to this individual, age is just a number. It's very odd how these people fight so hard to make everything not really matter in terms of age of characters and stuff like that. Don't you find that very strange that they have that sort of mentality about age just being a number? It's more about how they feel. And in this case, we're not just talking about a fictional character, but we're also saying that the dev is wrong. You won't even trust what the dev says? Crazy. This person says,
Stop right there,
I don't give
criminal
it.
scum. Nobody breaks the law on my watch.
I wanna underline something. People like this saying, I don't give a F. She looks 12. I'm starting to think, has any of you watched those like TikToks how the people today's age, like where a 21-year-old looks like she's 40 because they start early using like Botox and plastic surgery, so they all look 40. The 60-year-old look 40 and the 20-year-olds look 40. I'm starting to think people are not understanding that there is such a thing as, having smaller breastises and having like a more slender body. And, at 18, not looking like you're pushing 30. 18 is a minor. Shit, I should sue the government for recruiting child soldier.
You won't even trust what the dev says? Crazy. This person says, I don't give a F. She looks 12. Projection. This person said, it's all okay now, guys. Y'all aren't pedos. Just weird-ass groomers. Oh.
Projection.
Oh my god, like why is it that we cannot just play a game? Why is it we cannot play a game? You have to be either a PDF file or a groomer. There's no enjoying a game. You have all of these two options.
Grooming a fictional character. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. That's pretty insane. 18 is a minor, dude. What?
Sorry, it's just getting to me.
This person circling teen, not understanding that 18.
Literally the same thing I just said a few minutes ago.
Yep.
Twitter gives me a headache, man. But anyways, of course, as pointed out here, a series of tweets made by our main artist here would not age well. So what are we talking about? So they, of course, had to chime in on this whole Penny Parker situation with this original tweet captioned, "The hips that saved Marvel," of course, referring to her hips. And he quotes him saying, "Roster full of adult women in this game. You actually have a disease."
Huh?
Wow, bold claims coming from this individual, but even bolder right here, saying in quotes, "She might be an adult," end quote, "and she might not be. You might be a pedophile." That's a very aggressive thing to say over Penny Parker from Marvel Rivals. Now, unfortunately, we've been kind of building this up for a while here, but things would start to go affray. So they would get hit with probably one of the funniest community notes I've ever seen. It says this: "This user has drawn poontang of underage characters from the show Avatar: The Last Airbender and Yo Gabba Gabba."
Hey, yo, you can't do that, bro. You can't virtue signal and do that.
The Yo Gabba Gabba at the end got me. Absolutely criminal. For people who don't know what Yo Gabba Gabba is, this is Yo Gabba Gabba.
Huh? Not Yo Gabba Gabba. Jeez Louise. Well, they're not kidding. So brace yourself. You might need some bleach for your eyes after this one. This is just from my previous files I had making videos on this guy. This is just a small snapshot of what he's up to, obviously without access to his account.
Wait, is this person like drawing himself, also making out with characters and doing loot stuff with characters? He's making out with Miku. This is the actual teen from My Hero Academia riding backwards cowgirl. The acid slime chick. I forgot her name. Ain't no way this person is lecturing people on an 18-year-old Penny Parker.
Bro is a freak projecting, man.
I don't really have much else to work with here, but I think there's plenty. Okay, you can see he's retweeting not safe for work art of My Hero Academia characters, all aged around like 15. You can see on his own Rule 34 section, he has 3 entries of not safe for work art of the character Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, who is 12 in that series. You also have another character who's 14 from that same series. But this is where it gets interesting because he also really likes to do self-inserts of his own OC. So she's given some handwork to his OC there, which is a wild thing to happen because he's the one calling people predators over liking Penny Parker because he believes she's actually a minor. And then you also had the self-insert with Hatsune Miku, who's also canonically underage. And then I don't even like sitting next to this one. That's Yo Gabba Gabba. And he's self-inserting, no pun intended, in that shot as well. Yeah, tough one. Tough watch here. But yeah, this guy's become so infamous, and this was around the time he deactivated because he was getting clowned on really hard. But there was also some other controversy with him. He was like trying to say that Marvel rival characters weren't sexualized enough, the male ones or something like that. I don't know. It's all a graveyard at this point of deleted tweets, but this is how infamous this whole thing with the Yo Gabba Gabba stuff is.
The one artist foaming at the mouth right now. It is just a performance of the people in the Yo Gabba Gabba outfits. And,
Yo, they a freak for that, man.
and once more, I'm just reminding everyone this is what it is.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch!
Is because you have this tweet quoting a Yo Gabba Gabba performance at Coachella, and they say that one artist foaming at the mouth right now. 102,000 likes.
It was like, I know who you're talking about.
102,000 people at minimum understood what this reference was and the artist being referred to. That's crazy. That's your legacy, and that is an insane legacy.
Imagine your legacy being is drawing you self-inserting, unintended, into Yo Gabba Gabba. That is your legacy. I would uninstall internet.
To have. And this was like the last tweet that they made. It's the last thing I can find. It's a screenshot of it saying, "My life is hell, man. I wish I never effing drew that shit." Well, unfortunately,
What did you though?
You did it and then virtue signal.
It's like, oh, I drew this. I wish I never would, because now every time I try to virtue signal and be a big fat hypocrite, people are gonna call me out on my own BS. God damn it.
fortunately, the internet's forever, and you know what? You could draw whatever you want. You could draw your Yo Gabba Gabba stuff as much as your heart desires, I guess. It's
At
weird.
least on virtue signal. People, that's the thing. No one was talking about it besides like the occasional jabs and laughing, right? No one was trying to cancel this person. But the second this person was drawing those things while harassing people and while being a hypocrite and while virtue signaling, that's when everyone went, oh, bets are off.
But it's your right to do so. But you can't really do it when you're going around attacking, harassing, canceling, and all sorts of other bad
Exactly.
things directed towards artists when you do this stuff yourself, if not worse than whatever you're trying to chastise others over. This is just kind of effing around and finding out. And
Like, he doesn't regret drawing it. He regrets not being able to pretend like he has a moral high ground.
unfortunately, this tweet just rings true once again. These people treat fictional characters better than actual human beings. They have no regard for what happens to these people, how these slanderous accusations can actually hurt someone, all in the name of defending fictional characters that they believe are inappropriate to have any interest in, despite the fact they do the exact same thing themselves. Can't people just enjoy Marvel Rivals, man? Like, is it really that hard? You got to get into this whole discussion about Penny Parker, and eventually that contributes to your downfall as an artist. If they come back, I don't know. They might. They've done this like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, this person is gonna 100% come back. Like, we need to stop thinking that people are gonna mess up, get canceled, and they won't come back. They all always come back. Especially when you never even showed your face. You can just rebrand yourself and come back. These people will never go away. They'll come back. They'll probably rebrand, and they'll probably will start with a clean slate, virtue signaling.